This is paranormal investigator Dickie Jo Mullen coming to you from downtown Orlando, Florida, with some thoughts about fate and the role of the dice and luck. If I say dice or no dice, that might suggest to you that dice would be lucky and no dice means forget about it. Dice at vintage car shows are often appearing in hot rods, muscle cars of the 1940s and 60s to offer onlookers a silent statement about what's going on. A quick glance tells it all. The clue is dangling from the rearview mirrors in the ubiquitous form of those soft and fuzzy dice, plush and oversized in bright colors. They suggest adventure, fun, speed, and a belief in luck. All of that can come to mind with just a glance at the dice. These great big fuzzy dice first appeared during World War II, when fighter pilots would hang them above their instrument panels as a symbol of good luck when facing a risky mission. At Lou Gardens in Orlando, Florida, in the spring of 2020, a sculpture of bright red dice, approximately 8 feet tall, was featured in a display of outdoor games as an introduction to a photo op. Visitors would pose in front of the giant dice, and it was a picture taking session that started just at the era of social distancing when the coronavirus threat was beginning to be recognized. And I was there and saw everybody hopefully trying to capture a moment of humor and good luck, whether that was conscious or subconscious, to carry them through some dark times to come. Dice have been popular for thousands of years. Small handheld objects appear all around the globe, tossed to determine the outcome of gambles and games and for divination, insight about deeper questions that might be affecting human destiny. Dice, sometimes called die in the plural, are most commonly cubic with 6 sides, indented or painted dots, also called pips, give each side a number. Usually this is from 1 to 6. They are truly random, though, only when precision made, with the dots flush against the sides. When the markings are indented, slight variations in weight can occur. This can affect the outcome of the toss, and the dice are said to be weighted. Some die are polyhedrons with 8, 10, 12, 20, or even more sides. Sometimes pictures or other symbols will replace the familiar pips or dots. Astrologers often use astro dice. These are marked with the symbols of the zodiac signs, the sun, moon, planets, and numbers to indicate the houses of the zodiac. This invokes an element of chance and offer to look at the esoteric reading of a horoscope while interpreting the potential outcomes of the different celestial transits. Knucklebones, created from small animal bones, have been found around the world in prehistoric sites. These suggest ancient dice-like games going way back to the Stone Age. In the ruins of Ur, a city in the ancient country of Mesopotamia, a board game was found using 4-sided pyramid-shaped dice. The Egyptians played a tabletop game called Secret with dice-like objects around 3000 BC. And in Iran, dating from about 2500 BC, early dice sets were found which appeared to have been part of a backgammon-like game. Sophocles, who lived from 496 to 406 BC, claimed dice were invented by the Greeks during the siege of Troy. Dice appeared in China around 600 BC, and references to casting lots in the Bible also describe the use of dice-like objects to determine choices. Marco Polo is thought to have brought dice sets back from Asia to Italy during the late 13th century. The word dice actually comes from an old French word da, D-E-H, and it's derived from the Latin datum, meaning something played or a given. And I have a Victorian dice cup here with DE on it as kind of a nod to that early name for dice. It's about 150 years old, and it's kind of the earliest tie that I have to the ancient art of divining by dice. Across the ages, the charm of dice continues to attract and intrigue people. They are and have long been everywhere. Today, dice are used in a variety of games for divination, much as dominoes are. And dice convey meaning when referenced in everyday conversation. Saying no dice again means a situation is a dead end. Forget about it. It's not going to work out. No dice. It's a roll of the dice. That means a situation might go either way. Fate is at work. The outcome is a matter of luck and other factors. Weighted dice warns of unfairness, dishonest dealings at work, while just saying dice is encouraging. A desirable outcome is assured. In looking at the dice, I have a beautiful set of red clear ones here to show you what the different meanings are with the traditional 6 tosses of the dice. One puts the dice in the dice cup, shakes it, and then looks to see the numbers that would turn up and what that means. If you have a set of dice at home, get them out now or later. Think of a question and toss them in your hands if you don't have a dice cup and see what happens. If you get double pips or 2 ones or 2 dots, happiness, affection, love, relationships are going well. If the dice turn up as either 2-1 or 1-2, like this, that is going to say there's wealth and comfort. Conserve what you have, though. You could be a little bit wasteful, kind of a Miss Piggy type of thing, and you could go over the top with an extra piece of cake or running things up on the credit cards, but overall it's still good. If the 1 turns up with a 3, be a little bit more careful. The 1-3 is scandal. If you are a psychic reader, sometimes people come with some very dicey questions. And if you hint that there's anything that there's criminal activity or anything really bad going on, it's a warning to get away from it and stop immediately. It'll all fall apart. Of course, I know none of you would be involved in that, but you might someday run across someone who is. And if you're tossing the dice and get the 1 and 3, that's a sign to move off and stop. The 1 and the 4 together are solid, a good foundation. The 1 and the 4 is gradual improvement, make an effort, better times are ahead. The 1 that would turn up with the 5 or the 5-1 together would be social, but bad for money. There's a high cost of living. Everything is top dollar, expensive, but you have a good time with it all. So maybe it's worth it anyway, kind of a matter of philosophy. The 1 with the 6, turns up in your toss. There's a mixture of good and bad at the start, difficult beginning, but all is well that ends well. A project ends up all right when you have this. If you have 2 2s, the 2 and the 2 in the toss of your dice, and the dice looks like that, the 2-2 is thrift. Careful management brings future rewards. Conserve. Don't use all of your money, all of your effort at once. Keep something in reserve, and then you'll do well. If the 2 turns up with the 3 in your toss of the dice and looks like that, the 2 and the 3 is lucky for dealing with people. Travel plans will go well, but be a little careful to take care of children and elderly people. Those vulnerable on either side of the age gap can need a little bit of extra care, love, and attention. If you have double threes, a 3-3, like this, the double threes are very good for general abundance, and extra money is on the way. If you have a 4 with the 3, like this, in your dice toss, the 4-3 says be patient. There's safety, modest ambition. Things will go well if you take your time and if you're reasonable in your expectations and don't expect a lottery win right away. You'll do well with this. The double fours, 4-4, means that there's good pay for crafts and skills. The 2-4s mean that you're rewarded for abilities that you have. Someone who's an artist or craftsperson and gets the double 4s asking about a project is due for some good times. Looking at the 2 with the 5 here in the toss of the die, if you have the 2-5, don't commit to anything. A moment of impatience can ruin your whole life or ruin things for quite a while. Don't be hasty, and there can be a lot of trouble by jumping to conclusions in any way when there is the 5-2. The 5-3 is better. Tossing the dice and getting a 5 with a 3. This is calmness, stability, lay a foundation. Future gain comes to you in the long run. Looking a little bit further in the different combinations of the die, the 5 with a 4, like this, is going to be an obnoxious, difficult person to deal with. It's bad for money, false promises. You're about to encounter a know-it-all. Don't be that way yourself. Good to get away from people that just aren't your kind of company. Birds of a feather flock together, so do pigs and swine. Rats and mice will take their choice, so will I have mine. Remember that if you get the 5 and the 4, and keep good company. The 5 with the 5 combined together looking like this. The 5-5 is great success, lots of luck in love, money. A special wish will be fulfilled if you get the 5-5. Suppose that your toss of the dice brings you a 6 with a 2. The 6-2 is good for dealing with fair and honest situations. You're rewarded by making an honest effort. You don't get a free ride, but it's still reasonably positive. The 6 combined with the 3 is a good love combination. And there it is. The 6 combined with the 3 will be good for career success and also for relationships. Both love and money are promising there. The 6 combined with the 4 is a very calm type of reading. You don't get big waves, but things move along peacefully, smoothly. If you're thinking of retiring or quitting something, it'll be for the better. And this is also smooth sailing over, and whatever your lot in life is, you're content with it if the 6-4 turns up, and maybe that's real luck, real wealth. The 6 combined with the 5 is totally different. The 6-5 in your dice toss says avoid a large investment, check the details, attend to your health. A false start, things fall apart, but if you keep trying and start over again, the 6 and the 5 is good. If you are lucky enough to ever get a double 6 in a dice toss, that is really good news. Improbable good luck. Aim high, you can climb over the moon. Rewards in both luck and work are on the way. Let's take a look at an overall reading for everybody listening here. These are dice that have little words on them, a different type of die. And let's just kind of see, what will your day be like? And I have right here, great success. So everybody who's listening today, great success is on your way according to the word dice. Let's take a look at some beautiful illustrations of die from earlier times. This is a look of the dice with Dice Through the Ages. There's an example of different colors of dice, sometimes more than one die, or two or three will be used. There's some with letters, symbols. Those suggest the astro dice. There's a beautiful clear dice cup, and there is the hand of the Divine One tossing out the dice of fate, rolling the dice. Here's the sculpture in Lou Gardens, the giant die, 8 feet tall, that were just so striking. They were made out of fiberglass and just really inspired this feature. And here is a close-up view of my antique dice cup and some of the die that we've used today in looking at this illustration. Lots of good luck and a roll of the dice and dice to everyone. This is Reverend Dr. Dickie Jo Mullen in Orlando, Florida.